Hey y'all, welcome to Little Lala's Kitchen. I am here, I am juicing and I am making some stock to make some chicken soup. Trying to take care of a friend of mine that's not feeling well. So here I am juicing. I ran some fresh ginger, fresh spinach, carrots, Asian pears because I had them, some oranges, some celery. What else did I do? That might be it. Through my little juicer, I realized I hadn't used my juicer since I moved. I actually couldn't find the waste disposal receptacle for it. So I had to use a measuring cup, which is fine, but I absolutely love putting fresh ginger in my juice because it gives it such a nice gingery flavor, a little bit of bite. I like anything with some zest to it. So let's see, stir this all up. I always make more than fits in one juice thing, so I have to add it to a larger container and mix it so all the yummy different kinds of juices get well blended. So let's see what it tastes like. It's tasty. I like to do some vegetables, but I like to do, you know, enough fruits. As much as I love vegetables, I'd rather just eat my vegetables and like drink something that really just tastes like spinach juice or whatever. So I do like to add some greens to it because the nutritional content is pretty unparalleled, but I like to do a lot of oranges and ginger and stuff as well so that it's got a nice sweetness to it. In my stock pot, I have, there's whole chicken legs down in the bottom with the bone and the skin. Obviously, if you're making good broth, you need all of the parts. And then a whole head of celery, an onion, several cloves of garlic. There's fresh thyme and parsley from my garden. A couple leaves of basil from my garden as well. Some whole peppercorns, an onion, a couple of red chilies. Just gonna cook all this down. Pretty soon I'm gonna pull the chicken out of here and pull off the meat and cover it to keep it nice and juicy. Put the bones and the skin back into the pot and cook this down for a little bit longer while I start to chop the veggies to actually make the soup. But I do like to use I don't like to waste stuff, so I like to use my stock to cook the chicken I'm actually going to use in the broth, and then pull out the chicken before it gets super cooked. Use the same chicken and put the bones and the skin back in to continue to flavor the broth. And that way you don't have to go with a whole nother selection of meat to actually put into the soup itself. It seems to work pretty well. I think my broth still has plenty of flavor, and when you pull out the chicken early, it's not overcooked or anything, and so the chicken's perfectly fine to use in the soup at that point. So I'm gonna do some of those more boring steps without y'all and check back in a minute. Hey y'all, so I got tied up in a bunch of things, and I told you I was making this soup to take to a sick friend, and so I kind of just finished making it and delivered it last night and everything, and didn't end up making a video of the rest of the process. So I just wanted to catch you up. After I finished the stock, I let that boil down. I pulled the chicken out, pulled just the chicken meat off the bones and the skin, put the skin and the bones back into the stock pot like I talked about, let it continue cooking into the stock so that I had a really nice flavorful stock. And then I started in another pot. I sauteed in some avocado oil, actually, fresh minced garlic, fresh minced red chilies, a yellow onion that I diced up, Excuse me, I did not dice. I thin sliced my yellow onion. I like to have thin slices of onion in my soup. Then to that I added some sliced white mushrooms. I added sliced carrots. Added the stock back into the pot. Added the chicken that I had removed and sliced. I added Campanelli noodles, which are these really cool kind of curlicue noodles. I added a bag of frozen green beans, sliced green beans, and at the very end I threw in a few handfuls of spinach, and then I put zest from a lemon, the juice of a couple of lemons, and some fresh basil at the very end. I wanted to, I don't know, I ended up making almost a Italian type soup with the lemon and the garlic and the fresh basil. I wasn't sure that that's the direction I was going to take with this soup when I started making it. Oftentimes my recipes, my cooking experiments turn out that way, that the end product is not what I necessarily had in mind when I started the pot. And so then I'm about to have this for lunch here. So I've served a bowl of the soup. So there's about 15, 16 ingredients in the total soup with the homemade stock process and all. And then I'm just adding some shaved Parmesan on top to kind of pick up all of those flavors. I also don't tend to cook with a whole lot of salt. In soup I will add a little more salt than I'm prone to in other things, because I do like a nice flavorful broth, and this salt certainly brings that out. I'm just adding some fresh cracked black pepper on top. Doesn't that look nice with the melted shaved Parmesan and the black pepper? So I'm gonna enjoy this for my lunch here today. I did deliver some of the soup last night to my friend who's experiencing a summer cold. We all know that those aren't very fun. So went ahead and tried to brighten their day a little bit with some soup. And now I've got leftovers for my lunch today. Hope y'all are having a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.